Howdy guys, today I've got a short rookie reviews against YouWillWinWithMe, I'll call him You Will. And I played this game against him a couple days ago. He's a new PvP player, and he asked for some advice, so I'm gonna do this little rookie review. If you don't remember, rookie reviews are gonna be a little slower, a little more instructive than a regular review, and not necessarily entertaining games. So, a couple things I want to point out so far. He is basically going for the worst well position on this map. So there are two options when you have Euro. Almost everybody will come here and take this well cluster, or if you start on this side, they'll come and take this well cluster. You can also come here to take this one if you want to get a well as fast as possible, but then you're basically forced to go to tier 2 at that point. So if you want to avoid the tier 1 fight, because you know that your opponent is much better than you in tier 1, or for example you're playing Frost and your opponent's playing Fire, this might be the best place to go to. This is basically the worst place because it kind of locks you out. You could take forever to get there and then take forever to get back out. So he may get to this well slightly faster than I'm going to get to here, but not much faster, and then I can be like basically attacking his base by the time he gets out of here. So that's one point. Second point is this map actually has a asymmetry. So this player right here, if you really want this well, you can actually spawn something like a Nox Trooper and place it right over this piece of grass. It's kind of finicky. If you practice, you can get it. And actually, standing here, you can take this well. That's like a glitch. But that's in the game because of some asymmetry in the map. So if you really wanted this well just as fast as possible, you could kind of crawl over here, take it, and then go on with your life. So just wanted to point those couple points out. So here we are. I am getting to this well again, slightly slower than him, although part of that is probably due to the fact that Dread Charger spawns faster. He's now coming directly over here to take another power well. I am spawning Sunstriders because I'd like to attack him, and because if he takes this power well, he's going to be in for a bad time. Because he also took this one. So he took two power wells here. I've just taken the one, so I'm going to have basically two more Sunstriders that I can attack him with. Two Sunstriders can focus one Forsaken, and so now I've got three Sunstriders, and it can snowball pretty quickly. 100 power also means that I'm basically in for a free Sunderer. So a couple things to think about there. If he takes this well, it's going to drop 100%. But yeah, so you generally don't want to take wells as early as you possibly can, because I think what he did is just, as soon as he hit 100 power, he took a power well. That's generally a bad idea because you need to have enough forces on the field to defend. So let's say that I have like 4 units, then I can take a power well. That's kind of fine, because if your opponent attacks you with 6 units versus 4 units, with the advantage of defense, that's not so terrible. But if it's like you have 0 units and I have 2 units, then that can kind of snowball a little quicker. So that's one of the reasons why it's good to take this one, is because you have the flexibility of when you can take these extra power wells. But anyway, let's continue on with this game. So he's waiting there. It looks like he's waiting for power. He doesn't have it in time, so he decides to run away. So if I was like really trying to be mean, I guess I could actually just wait for him to get the power and then rush him really hard. Instead, I'm chasing around, and I think I'm going to take this for myself. Reason I did this, again, is because he said 2 power wells, so I can take 2 power wells safely, and I didn't really feel like rushing him. And this way I can kind of get like guaranteed map control, and he's not even going to be able to go tier 2. Well, he is trying to escape. It looks like I missed that scavenger bite, and I'm going to follow him around here. He definitely shouldn't. Okay, so I decided that it looks like he's going to take a well. So first, even if he doesn't take a well, putting his Dread Charger out here means that he's 60 power less when I attack him over here, right? So I've got already like 1 free Sunstrider to attack him with that he doesn't have to defend with. And then if he takes the well, of course, he shouldn't do that. But even if he doesn't take the well, as long as his Dread Charger stays out of the fight, I'm going to have an advantage when I attack him. So I made a Sunder. Sunder is very strong against Shadow because Shadow needs to preemptively defend against the Sunder. Shadow has Night Guard, which is fine, but Night Guard needs to be spawned, 20 seconds before I get the Sunder here, which makes defending this hard because he doesn't have any preemptive Night Guard. He can also try to spread out with Nox Troopers and Forsaken and body block with a Dread Charger, but he's not going to have power to any of that because his unit's over here. Also, he built this wall. Comments about the wall. In general, how much does this wall cost? 25 power? Okay, that's not that much, but in general, I think a wall is a waste of power, especially because it binds power. So, you will. I don't know how much about the mechanics of the BattleForge game you know, but in case you don't know, we have power, right? So right here is how many powers you get from wells. So I'm getting 4 from my wells. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your number would also be 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the void, which is everything that's died, spell cast, or a building destroyed. 90% of that will go into the void. So since this is 25 power that's not being destroyed, it'll basically forever stay out of the void. Now 25 power isn't that much, but just in general, I would avoid building a wall unless I need to. So the fact that you built the wall first is not that good because I wasn't attacking you here. Second thing is that I'm attacking you here, so you need to be spending all of your resources defending this instead of building somewhere else. So yeah, I continue with my attack. Cinder is going to be hard for him to deal with. He's spawning absolutely nothing, which I would say even against Radical X, right? If I get this close to you and you haven't spawned anything, you're going to be in it for a bad time. Even worse though, he has built 2 power walls here. So he has no power to defend, right? So he has absolutely no power. I've got like 250 power, even more than that actually. So this, I'm going to kill everything here basically because he's got 60, 200, and 25 out of the fight, which I can just straight up attack him with and kill everything. So rule of thumb is if you're being attacked somewhere, first prioritize defending that, and second prioritize building somewhere else. So yeah, we're going to see this under hit really hard. He's going somewhere with his Dread Charger. I don't know what. He is not even attempting to defend. So, really important to defend. Oh, the reason why it's so important to kill power wells is because power wells and monuments are the only thing which do not add to the void pool when they're killed. So, in the long term, it's actually worth 1,000 power to kill a single 100 power well, because if you're spending less than 1,000 power, you're going to regain. You're only going to lose 10% of that, right? So at 1,000 power, 10% of that is 100. So don't spend 1,000 power to kill a well. But anything less than that, theoretically, for the long term, is a power advantage. Now, okay, if you spend 700 power to kill my well, I'm going to have 700 power of units. I'm probably going to retaliate with more than a well kick, but, in the long term, theoretically. So that's why I'm going, and I decided I'm just going to go for his orb, because I don't know, he can't stop it. Usually you go for the wells first, because they have a lot less health, and the power advantage is the same you get for killing a well versus killing an orb. But I figured let's just kill the orb. He can't build anything while he builds an orb here. But this way he can't even build anything to defend, and I'm going to drop it one way or another, so I might as well get the orb. I'm trying to take this one out to remove his ground presence so that he can't rebuild something if I attack somewhere else. And then, I don't know, I could come over here and attack, or I could just come and kick the rest of his stuff. He's coming over here. So again, the theme here is that you should not be building something while you're being attacked. If you're being attacked, respect the fact that you're being attacked. And he's going tier 2, which is not a problem because, well, it's not a problem for me because I have such a huge power advantage. I took this well just to have ground presence and to I don't know, continue my power advantage. Oh, and I want to go tier 2. Yeah, so I figured I'll just go tier 2 because he's going tier 2. Honestly, I've got such more power than him that staying tier 1 against his tier 2 is probably fine. But why not go tier 2? There's no reason not to go tier 2 unless I want to just show off the fact that I don't need to go tier 2. He is coming here, maybe to attack me. I'm not sure what he's going to spawn. My tier 2 just went up. He's attacking me just with some random units. If Shadow attacks you as fire, the best thing to do is probably to spawn a scavenger, because the scavenger can attack the Dread Charger, and the person who wins between the Dread Charger and scavenger is whoever hits first. So if I spawn the scavenger, unless he's like absolutely paying attention and can switch targets to hit me, then my scavenger is going to hit him first. Is a guaranteed going to kill his Dread Charger. My scavenger will live with 5 health. And he can't run away because the scavenger can triple bite him and continue to attack him. So single unit Dread Charger, that's the best way to counter it. If you're Shadow and I attack you with a single unit scavenger, the best way to attack it is a Nox Trooper, because a Nox Trooper can hit one shot and then overload to kill the scavenger. But anyway, I've got enough units on the field. I figure I'll just kill this guy right now without needing to spawn an additional unit, especially since I'm tier 2, so I can just spawn tier 2 units. Just to get an idea of how bad the power situation is, I'm getting 1 from the Void because none of my units have died in a long time, and I'm getting 5 from Power Wells. YouWill is getting 1 from the Void because he also hasn't had any units die in a while. All he's had are Wells kicked, and he's getting 2 from Power Wells. So you can see the major power difference. Also, I've got this huge army still alive. And as soon as this army dies, I'm going to get a lot of that power back in the Void. So some people, like Moran V, in a situation like this, he's been known to actually kill his tier 1 units just to get that power back in the Void to pressure with tier 2 faster. I think he's the only top player who would do that. Almost everybody else would rather keep using your tier 1 units to fight, but it is a viable or semi-viable strategy. So I spawned 3 Burrowers here, and again he built a well. So there's a thing. If there's one thing you need to remember from this: don't build wells if you're going to lose a well. So always prioritize keeping your well before losing a well. So you need to keep your well alive for like 2.5 minutes before it's worth getting the well. If your well is going to survive less than 2.5 minutes, just don't buy it. It's worth more power not to buy it. So I'm hitting the door. Reason to hit the door is it's got less health than everything else. So if I just need to penetrate the door and then I can go through. He's spawning Dread Chargers. He's tier 2 though, so I don't think there's really a need to spawn Dread Chargers. Nightcrawler is better. He may have just forgotten he's tier 2. I don't know where these Sunstriders are going, but the Burrowers have gotten to this door. I'm spawning more Burrowers to hit here, and I might even do an Acid Spit here, there we go, to break through the door. So yeah, at this point it's just using overwhelming power advantage to crush him on both fronts. So nothing more interesting is going to happen during this game. But yeah, I hope the points I pointed out made sense. And, oh, he made a Lost Reaver here, which again I can just oink and keep attacking. Maybe I can make Gladiatrix. And I've got like so much power I can basically just like root him, run away, eruption spam him. There's these guys. Yeah, here we go, I root him. He has no even orb, so he can't life weaving or anything like that. So I hope these points made sense. Biggest thing is that you don't want to build something while you're being attacked. First, defend your attack, right? Always prioritize defense over building. The only thing you can prioritize more than defense is offense. If I'm attacking you and you think you can attack me harder, then maybe that's a worthwhile strategy. But otherwise, prioritize defense. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.